The Lord is our shepherd, I shall not want. He maketh I lie down in a green pastures. Him leadeth I beside still water them. Him restoreth I soul. Him leadeth I another part of righteousness for him name's sake. Yea! Though I RASTA go walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I can't fear no evil. For thy rod and thy staff them comforted I and I. Uno prepared the table before I in the presence of our enemy them. Uno anointed I head with uno oil. The cup runneth over. Surely goodness and mercy. I go follow I all the days of I venny. I go dwell in the house of the Lord God. Jah. Kadama we groma bea tela e higzag beer tana istalina bashante shante shante shante. This is the Blakk Pot, aka Kukushunamo, where we speak truth to power. Now here we don't criticize, but if we must criticize, we'll do it on one condition: to build and not to destroy. That is why we keep saying we are in the service of God and country. This is the Blakk Pot, aka Kukushunamo, and here we speak truth to power. We all stand on the side of the truth. And remember, this is in the service of God and country. And from the newsreel, we endeavor to always keep it real. This is the voice of the people, and the voice of the people is the voice of God. Please make sure that you take our numbers from off the screen and you do business with us. Call us and tell us what business you're doing, how you want us to promote your business on this show. At the same time, my brother, my sister, I want to also say thank you so much for joining us. Please share the broadcast. We are live on YouTube and also live on Facebook. I want to say thank you so much. Today we have 5 very important issues to look at, and I need you to come along. My name, Blakk RASTA, and of course, this is where all the action is. Now, let's look at story number 1. Come here, my youths. Now, the very first story we are looking at today says, nobody can be Ghana president without me. And this is Owusu Bempah, Reverend Isaac Owusu Bempah speaking. This is Reverend Isaac Owusu Bempah. He's predicted quite accurately the presidents of this nation from when it mattered most. At a time when many people said Nana Akufo-Addo will never be president, it was him who came out and even challenged the whole nation, telling the whole nation that, listen, if Nana Akufo-Addo does not become president, burn down my church. I will burn my own Bible myself. For me, it was a dangerous thing to say. But he said it, and it came to pass. At the time, there was an incumbency. Oh, yes. Mahama of the NDC was in power. And the NDC, my brother, my sister, had just gone for 1 official term. Mahama was left with the 2nd official term. But he lost it. And Reverend Isaac Owusu Bempah became a superhero of our elections from that point. Right now, any political party that wants to come into power, the first point of contact, after doing the groundworks and all that, if they want to touch down with spirituality, they go straight to the church of Reverend Isaac Owusu Bempah. Baumia has been there a couple of times. Nana Akufo-Addo has also been there before. Mahama has not been there for one obvious reason, because this man here said Mahama will never ever be president. Now after some time, he came back and said, every na kumapa nti nyame esadi omaino asheninsem. In other words, because of his good heart, referring to Mahama, God has given the nation to him again. Why did he say Mahama will never ever be president again? And even at the time, he said Anyone who wants to challenge me, come forward and challenge me. Oh my God. He said, Mahama had murdered his own political mentor, John Evans Atta Mills. And anyone who had a spiritual eye would see in the realms that Atta Mills was crying and asking why Mahama had done this to him. When we heard that, I felt that this was so much below the belt. But Mahama did not budge. One thing I would always applaud the former president for, he never ever came out to say, hey, it's true or it's not true, or I'm going to take the matter to court, which would have been so difficult for the man of God to prove in the law court where spirituality does not work. But after some time, the same man of God came out and said, God has given back the country to you, even though it was said that you will never ever be president. Many have said that this man of God is a stomach direction man of God. Many have also said that he's fake, he's a quack. And he himself said it in his church over the weekend, that many people have started calling him a fake prophet, but time will tell. And then he told a history about how he went all the way to Owusu and stayed in there for close to 2 years fasting and praying. And when he returned home, he was very, very lean to the point of death. And God decided to reward him with some spiritual gifts. He also said his spiritual father had taken a very good care of him and even directed and mentored him properly. So he will never go wrong. He waits until he hears it properly from God before he speaks. Reverend Isaac Owusu Bempah has something new. What is he saying? Watch this from Ghana Word. He says, no one can become president in Ghana without my involvement. And this is Reverend Owusu Bempah. Run it, my youth. The founder and leader of Glorious Word Power Ministries International, Apostle Dr. Isaac Owusu Bempah, has made a bold assertion about his spiritual influence on Ghana's presidential elections. In a recent interview, the renowned pastor declared that no one can ascend to the presidency of Ghana without his involvement, describing his role as pivotal in determining the outcome of the country's elections. Reverend Owusu Bempah on Tuesday, October 8, 2024, reflected on the spiritual dimensions of leadership and power in Ghana. What did he say? He made a profound biblical reference to the story of Jacob and Esau, in which Jacob, through divine intervention and the guidance of his mother Rebekah, received the blessings meant for Esau. He drew a parallel between this biblical tale and Ghana's political scene, particularly concerning former President John Dramani Mahama. The burden on John Dramani Mahama has been lifted because he needed a mighty hand on him, and that is my hand. Reverend Owusu Bempah said on OKFM. He explained that initially Mahama was spiritually hindered from becoming president again. I have said in the past that Mahama, due to circumstances, would never become president, and indeed, he lost the 2016 and 2020 elections. But in 2021, I declared in my church that the yoke on Mahama is now broken, and with persistence, he can ascend the presidency, he revealed. Reverend Owusu Bempah went on to assert that he plays a crucial role in determining who becomes president of Ghana. I am very humbled and a man of God. I say this to the glory of God. No one can sit on the presidential throne without my involvement, he said. Dash it away. My brother, this sounds to me as arrogant. I see this as very, very arrogant. So if God decides to choose another person tomorrow, what happens? It means that you must by all means be involved before whoever becomes president becomes president. I think that this is spiritual arrogance. That's what I think. My brother, no one person is ever irreplaceable. My brother, even in the Bible, there were so many different prophets at different times, and God would decide who to use at a certain time. I agree with Reverend Isaac Owusu Bempah with all respect. He's a man who has invested so much in spirituality. From when we were in school at Tiamade Secondary School, he was always prayerful. And I would always say this. He was a man who was not interested in the world. He was so interested in the things of God. He didn't even like school. He was the president of the SU, Scripture Union. And he was also running for the school as an athlete, at the same time playing football for the school. After some time, he started to even play for Cornerstones, which was a football club in the Premier Division at the time, Kumasi Cornerstones. My brother, my sister, this is a sportsman. He used to run for the school and we nicknamed him Libya, and he loved that name. Anytime he had to run for the school, all we needed to do was to come up, clap, Libya, 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 Libya. And that was it. That was enough for him to run like the wind. We loved him. He didn't seem to be friendly with Muslims that much. He was always with his Christian friends, most of the time alone, praying in tongues, and so on and so forth. You would meet him on the way to the class. He would not even look at you. He would be muttering words to himself. I can vouch for this man in that direction. But to come out and say that without you, nobody can be president in this nation, I think is spiritual arrogance. Humble yourself, man of God. Humble yourself. The same way God chose you. He chose people before you. And after you, he will choose other people because the work must be done. Please, let's eschew this spiritual arrogance and be humble before the face of God. It's not a competition. I don't see spirituality as a competition. If God is using you today, to God be the glory. Of course, there were some other things that he prophesied about which never came to pass, just like other prophets in the Bible. And Reverend Owusu Bempah is so smart and sharp to tell you that the fact that a prophet has prophesied and didn't come to pass doesn't mean he's a fake prophet. And he's right, according to the Bible. Man of God, you have nothing to prove anymore. At the time, nobody believed in Nana Akufo-Addo. You stood firm and said that he will be president. No other man of God was ready to go through the challenges that you went through. You have nothing else to prove. Again, man of God, when you said Mahama will never be president, it took a bold you to come back again. Such a man with a huge congregation to say that I said it, but Mahama will be president again. And you spoke against the other party. It takes balls to be able to do that. Who are you in competition with? Why do you have to crown yourself and say that without you, no other person? It comes like it's a business. Right now, you have positioned yourself in that business of president making. So whoever wants to be president would have to come to you so that whatever benefits come with that, you will take that before you lay a hand on the person. I do not think that you need to be in that position. If you are anointed, please let your anointing show like we have done in the past. There's no need to boast about that anointing. After all, the Bible itself says, see, your righteousness is nothing but filthy rags. Hallelujah. That's my way. It's the Blakk Pot, aka Kukushonomo, and here we speak truth to power. Remember to send your comments coming in. We will take them one after the other. Next to Arima Youth, and watch it clearly. What does it say? Students threatening to beat teacher who refused cheating. A teacher has come out to say that he stopped students from cheating. Yes, examination malpractices. And some of the students ganged up and threatened that they were going to beat him to pulp for not allowing them to steal. Interesting, isn't it? I'm going to tell you something interesting, but let's get the facts of the matter. Run it, my youth. This one is from Ghana Web, and it says, one of them threatened to beat me. Teacher assaulted by students. for preventing exam malpractice. Run it, my youth. Watch this. A teacher at Christian Methodist Senior High School, and listen to the name of the school, Christian Methodist Senior High School in Accra, who was attacked by students for not allowing them to cheat during exams, has disclosed how one of his assaulters had previously threatened him. Walter Yesuto Adanu Nyo. Walter Yesuto Adanu Nyo. A physical education teacher was ambushed and beaten by some students on September 16, 2024, before being rescued by some residents. Following the assault, the police picked up a student and Walter was called to identify the suspect. So we went there. That's the police station. And the moment I saw him, I recognized him. He was part of them. He threw a stone at me. So I told the inspector that this boy was one of them. The boy was the first person to assault me. He even used his elbow to hit my jaw. He said to Ghana Web TV's Ishmael Batoma on Say It Loud on Ghana Web TV. Walter disclosed that the student had earlier threatened to beat him after slapping another teacher. That particular boy is a boy who was threatening me before. He had told me that he's going to beat me. That was when he slapped a teacher and scaled the wall. He was given a suspension. Despite the student's father pleading for leniency and claiming his son was just a foolish boy, the threat materialized during the ambush. I told the father that this your son told me that he will beat me. When something happens to me, your son will be held responsible. This was before the incident. So the father told me that he begged. He's just a small boy and a foolish boy. He cannot do that. I told him, you should talk to your son. He can actually do it. That's why they say it. So, can you imagine somebody who threatened that he's going to beat me? And then when the opportunity came, he was the first person to elbow me. He lamented. Walter expressed his pain and disappointment, not just from the physical assault, but also from the betrayal by students he had dedicated his life to teaching. When you read the story further, it talks about how Walter taught the students from Form 1 all the way down. And the school is called Christian Methodist. Listen to this attentively. The teacher is trying to groom students to become good citizens. And part of the grooming is to discipline them from the act of stealing. Examination malpractices could be called stealing. That is why in the Ashanti region, when you go to the examination hall and you cheat, they say, exam no owiaye. He stole the exam. My brother, my sister, students now could walk up to their teacher, threaten him and say, we will beat you, and truly ambush him, throw a stone at him, elbow his jaw, and beat him to pulp. Whilst he's busy screaming, and calling for help, they are beating him, elbowing him, and his crime is that he wanted the examination to be free and fair. Let's bring this to Galamsey. It's the same thing with Galamsey. The people who are destroying the land, we are trying to tell them to be good citizens, like the teacher was trying to tell the students to be what? Good citizens. Training them, grooming them up to be good citizens. But the Galamseyers are saying, no, we will not stop it. And we are going to hurt all those people who are telling us to stop Galamsey. We will target them one after the other. They are taking our livelihood away from us. So we will make sure that we will finish them. What's the difference between Galamsey and examination malpractices? It's the same thing. Technically, ideologically. So you see, our children start learning bad habits before they grow into the bad citizens that they are today. Right from the school, they know how to ambush girls and rape them. They know how to use drugs. Whilst in school, the teacher cannot see everything. The teacher will do his best, but his best would have to be complemented by the parents' best. If you leave your child to be trained by the school, you might regret. Complement the school training with your own training. In my days, my school teacher would be so happy to walk me all the way to my house, sit with my father. I remember my father asking for water to be brought to him to drink. After drinking the water, my father would ask him, how's my son doing? Is he doing well? Did he come to school early today? Did he come there last week early enough? Blah, 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 blah. Oh, he's doing well. I think that these are the areas he needs to improve in. Blah, 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 blah. The teacher would spend a few minutes. And then I remember when the teacher was going away, my father would give a gift and he would not accept any monetary gift. In those days, they only accepted fruits and things like that. Maybe a fowl, something like that. Today, my brother, my sister, how many teachers visit families? It's not because they don't want to. Some of the families are even waiting to beat the teacher because the teacher caned the student some 2 weeks back. So they are ambushing him, waiting to visit him with harm. True? Some of these students, they say something. Oh, the other schools, they allow them to cheat. As for we, our school, they are the baller school. Yawa teachers. They did there. They make them dead there. The other teacher will say, they go allow we make we also cheat. Charlie, God go punish him. Yeah, we for arrange them, beat him, catch him balls, squeeze him balls, make he cry. If you know if he use the thing for his wife, you go see say be shaggy guy. Listen to the utterances of people who are supposed to be future leaders. What kind of students are we growing? Are these the people who are going to rule the country next? When are they going to change? By miracle or by magic? As for Teacher Walter, he is Suto. Proverbially, you have heard it over and over. Your reward is not here. It is there. Every teacher's reward is in heaven. Teachers are now saying that politicians' reward is right here on earth. They also want their reward here. From when teachers started saying that, the school curricula changed. All kinds of things were allowed in schools. Teachers would have to get their reward here. Male teachers are sleeping with the girls in the school because they want their reward here. Male teachers are raping girls in the school. Some of them have been sleeping with these girls from when they entered Form 1. They de-virginize them. Use them all the way, giving them marks and getting their friend teachers to even promote them for no work done. These are the future leaders because they want their reward here. The teacher's profession was so noble in the days when we all said the teacher's reward is in heaven. It's a sign of nobility. That means you are not interested in mondial things. But the government should have also come in at the point to say that yes, your reward is in heaven, but we must make sure that we pay you well so that you will not be attracted to bribery and corruption. And two, you must have very good retirement benefits. Before retirement benefits, you should have packages to travel out on vacation. Never in this country. Teachers don't go for vacation. My primary school teacher never went to vacation. He never went to Lamashegu, let alone Savulugu. He stayed right there at Zogbeli until he retired. May all my teachers from class 0 all the way up to university, may they be blessed. Those who are still alive, may they live a healthy and powerful life. I never insulted my teacher, not once. The only time I raised my voice over a teacher was in the university when I was doing my master's. A teacher intentionally wanted to frustrate me when I was doing my thesis. He would always call me, use all kinds of abusive words. Who do you think you are? Because you drive this kind of car, you drive that kind of car, so you think that you are who? Meanwhile, he never saw me drive a car. He just felt that because I was on radio and He expected me to be so prideful, and I wasn't. Whatever, some people are like that. So one day, I had to ambush him quietly in his office, and I had to tell him, sir, with all respect, I think that you've been trying to provoke me all this while, and you are not getting it, so you are getting frustrated. I will never allow you to provoke me to the point of losing my blessing from a teacher. I want to tell you that. You can continue provoking me, I will never respond. He was quiet, watching me. But posterity will judge the two of us. That he didn't like. So when I left, he called the boss of the school, the director, and told him he would not supervise my work anymore. And we're left with just about 2 weeks to submit our thesis. That meant I had to take another year in order to finish my master's. But God was so powerful. Not knowing another teacher was sitting somewhere and he was already waiting to supervise my work. But I didn't give it to him. I chose this man that I thought was humble and loved me and had time to look at my thesis. When he rejected it, the school wrote to me and said, you know what? Your supervisor has pulled out and it's left with just about 2 weeks to submit your work. We suggest that you defer. I said, me defer? Please give me a couple of days to sort out this. That very day, I met that other teacher who said he would do it. He went through the work I had done so far. You know what he said? But you have finished this work already. Let's just look at the chapter 5 and finish it up properly, right? And we'll do a little work on the 1. And then we'll come to the 3rd chapter and then just finish it. You should be able to finish this within a week. So I wrote back to the school and said, well, this teacher wants to finish it up. And we did it. The 1 week, he said, we finished it in 3 days. I submitted it and I graduated. At the graduation, this other teacher who did not want to do the work, he saw me coming up. And he almost had a heart attack. Hey, how did he graduate? He started asking the people, who supervised his work? 3 days later, he died. May he go to heaven. Because there were some people who enjoyed. He was a good teacher, but for a reason. Towards the end, he didn't really like me for no reason. Later, somebody told me some things, but I don't want to put that out. My brother, the teacher is like your angel. The day you disrespect your teacher, that day you are digging your own early grave. The Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, he said something that I'll always revere. He said, if knowledge is found all the way in China, and in those days, China was seen to be the farthest point, just as some people also thought Timbuktu was the farthest point. Every Muslim must endeavor to go to China and grab the wisdom. And he said something so picturesque. He said, if my children's teacher would allow me, every morning, I will go to his house, clean his shoes, lace his shoes, because he's imparting knowledge to my children. The Prophet Muhammad. Such a noble man. Look at how the Prophet of Islam regarded teachers. And today, male teachers are rapists. The females are also doing their own things. Schooling has become business. Everybody is doing business with our education. To God be the glory. It's the Blakk Pot, aka where we speak truth to power. When we return, we'll take your messages. I would also have more to tell you. Hey! Why?
Skipper George.
Blackpot. Coco show man.
It's a Blakk Pot, aka Coco Show them where we speak truth to power. Next story. Now watch the next story. It's interesting. The mate must be driver now. And who is saying this? Who is saying this? Samira Bawumia, the pretty woman that I always crush on. Is it okay to crush on somebody's wife? Let me rather use the word admire. I admire her so much. Very beautiful. And I'm sure I am not the only one in her shoes. She's so eloquent. And she looks quite stylish. I really love this woman. I love this woman from the bottom of my heart. There was a day I was looking for a favor. I won't tell you what favor it was. And I asked somebody if he could grant me that favor. And this person happened to be related to Samira Bawumia. And called Samira Bawumia. In fact, I called the person, and whilst the person was speaking, Samira was around. He mentioned my name. And when it was done, Samira asked, who did you just speak with? I said, oh, Blakk RASTA. I said, hey, are we safe? He said, oh, yeah. He wants me to do something for him. I said, what exactly does he want? And the person mentioned it. Please, let's quickly do it. Oh. Let's quickly do it. This guy there, I like him so much. That's what Samira said. And this man called me and told me what Samira said. Before then, she knew I liked her. I've never said anything bad about her. I don't say bad things about women. Even if they are wrong, there's a way we straighten them without going longitudinally and latitudinally wild. I love her. But she's saying something. Can we watch her? Now watch this. He has served as a mate. Trust Bawumia with Ghana. Samira woos Ghanaians. And I like the word woo. Second lady Samira Bawumia has urged Ghanaians to give her husband, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, the chance to lead the country after President Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo. And this is citynewsroom.com reporting. Samira emphasized that Bawumia has gained valuable experience as a driver's mate and is now prepared to take over from his mentor. Now, during a one-week tour at Kodie, located in the Efija-Kwabre South District of the Ashanti region, with a special focus on Zongo communities, she firmly stated that Bawumia, as vice president, has outperformed all previous vice presidents in the country. She highlighted his achievements for the party and argued that he should be given the opportunity to become the next president to transform the nation. He said, Bawumia and the NPP have great plans for Ghana. Bawumia will continue and improve upon all the significant initiatives of President Akufo-Addo. So please, hand him the steering wheel as the driver on December 7th. He has served as a mate, learned from his experience, and is now ready to lead. So vote for him for transformation. We have had several vice presidents in the country, but Bawumia has outperformed them all, particularly with his digital solutions. CityNewsroom.com quotes her to have said. This is Samira, and that's her husband. I visited them when they were in opposition at their home. Samira didn't cook any food for me because my visit was supposed to be very short. I didn't spend more than 10 minutes there and I left. I'm sure if I stayed longer, she would have prepared some ngongo for me. On a more serious note, Samira, this prayer is not going to happen. Your husband has performed so abysmally. Your husband is a disgrace to this nation. Your husband is a coward. will not be president. And if by mistake something happens and your husband becomes president, I will leave this country. Who am I? I'm a citizen. But this reaction will show how radical some Ghanaians can be. I don't believe in, I'm just one person. I believe in the saying that change starts with you. Bob Marley says, one man a walking and a million more sparking. It takes one to spark up a million people. Your husband is a disgrace to this nation. Let me put all the sentiments and all the passion away and deal with Bawumia. Please find me a photo of Bawumia alone so that it doesn't look like I am. Yes, thank you. This man here called Bawumia is on a lying spree. He's told so many lies to the people of Cape Coast. They don't want to see him there anymore. Because he told them that there was going to be an airport. At the same time, there was going to be, a certain port. And then his forgetful president went there to negate everything, only for him to go back and apologize and say, okay, we are actually going to do one, not both. Bawumia, the international economic whiz kid, came into office at the time the city exchanged 3 cedis to $1. Today is 17 Ghana cedis and more to $1. He boasted that he had arrested the city. Listen to his semantics. Locked up the dollar inside a certain cell room. Pulled out the key. Gave the key out to the IGP. And warned the IGP never to ever open that cell for the dollar to escape. Today the dollar has escaped and the CD cannot be found. He has never apologized to us. And all the bootlickers around him are saying, oh, he doesn't really need to apologize. He tried. He just didn't work. But he has done a lot. That's arrogance. If you promise to give me bananas, and you couldn't find bananas, you found oranges, find a way of apologizing to me that you couldn't get the sweeter bananas, but you have oranges that are equally nutritious. It's like you go to a restaurant, you ask for a Pepsi, then the person comes with 7-Up and says, oh, it's the same, just drink is the same. Instead of apologizing that, I'm sorry, when I went into the stock, all the Pepsi was gone, but 7-Up, if you don't mind, is very close to Pepsi. But Ghanaians don't talk like that. Oh, that's the same thing now. Pepsi and 7-Up, we think the difference. That's how Bawumia is behaving. Bawumia has relegated the office of the vice president to the mate. He said he was only the mate. We have seen regimes where vice presidents became more powerful than the president. We have regimes where vice presidents became more powerful than the president. Look at Kwame Nkrumah. He didn't have a vice president, but he ruled the nation. And today we see him as the best president we've ever had without a vice president. So if there's a vice president, my brother, the output should even be more. If one person can achieve 5 and now you are 2, you should be able to take it to 15, 3 times that, at least twice that. Bawumia has disappointed us with the economy. He was brought in here to deal with the economy. He has failed. He sat down and watched E-Levy slapped on us. Why I say your husband is a coward, Samira, with all respect, is that he couldn't look at Akufo-Addo in the face to tell him, sir, all these things that you are bringing will come back and bite us. They won't help us. And if Akufo-Addo said, to hell with you, he should take the walk. But he cared more about his stomach and his ambition to become president. That's a coward. If I were him, I would walk out. How can I work with a driver who is not ready to listen to me? Even if I know the road better than the driver at some portions, and I tell the driver, this road here, Charlie, it leads into a ditch. Let's avoid it. Let's use this other one. No, I'm the driver. What do? You step out of the car and say, bye-bye into the ditch. Fare thee well. But the coward Baumia sat back and tried to ignore all the suffering Ghanaians were going through. That is why I don't like your husband. But as for you, you are my darling. If you were the one running, why didn't you even run? It has just dawned on me. Samira should have run for the position of the president. You would have done far better than your husband. Samira would have done far better than Baumia. How many people agree with me? It's because of your husband and Nana Akufo-Addo that a lot of NPP faithfuls have now disintegrated. Watch what you will get in the election. Play back this tape after and tell me, Blakk RASTA, you saw it right. Ghanaians are all frustrated. Now the only way your husband thinks he can win the election is to continue with dirty Galamsey and religiosity. Oh yes, I'm a Muslim, and get people who do not know Islam too well to also follow him and say, yeah, vote for him because he's a Muslim. Ma Muslim, Allah Muslim. Iza zulzulatul arzu zilzalaha, iza zurhak. Posterity will judge all those fake people around who are politicking with Islam and religion. You will all drown like Pharaoh did in the ocean. As for Baumia, you won't drown. I don't want you to drown. You will not drown. I want you to live and see how this economy will turn around. Maybe you will learn after that. A few years later, we could support you to become president. But now, never. That's my way. Bring Samira here. My darling, with all respect, I hope you understand my delivery. Thank you for your hard work. The first time you campaigned for him, he won. Many were those who said they voted for him because of you. But this time around, Assalamu alaikum. It's the Blakk Pot, aka Kukushunamo. And here we speak truth to power. When we return, your messages will flow, and try to keep your messages decent, or else we shall deal with you in our own way. Hey! Way! Wayo!
Blakk Pot, Coco Show, man.
It's the Blakk Pot, aka Coco Show, here we speak truth to power. All right? So let's see your messages. I remember this is a decent platform, so you can disagree with us, but we will not accept vulgarity. Wani Boy says, welcome back, my lord. Wayoy. Now, Bon Pyramid says, good evening, Blakk RASTA. I've really missed this show. I'm one of the anti-Galamsey protesters who got arrested. Oh, really? Oh, wow. Congratulations. Yes, you sacrificed for the nation. Some of us were granted bail yesterday. We will be going to court on Monday, the 14th. Oh, Nabon Pyramid. Sorry about that, but you are fighting for your nation. I would have done the same and even more. Prince Amrokwa says, watching you live in Texas. Please visit us soon. Yes, I will be in the United States at the end of October. Please link up so that we will come to Texas. At least we can sit down and think about Ghana. Kofi Azuma is a brethren to my very good brethren in Bolga. Oh my God. Lord Kimu, I love him. Greeting to my brother Blakk RASTA on this blessed Thursday. Greeting to all my brothers and sisters here with much love. And some that Olivia says he's a political pastor. Which one of them? Isaac. Owusu Bempah. All right. Now, one pyramid says, too much police brutality. We need justice and equality. Luciano, in a song called Serious Times. Stephen Banda says, greetings, Blakk RASTA. Wayoy, the king of Africa. Wayoy. And he's watching us all the way from South Africa, Bloemfontein. Thank you so much, Stephen Banda. We love you and appreciate you. Yes. Kofi Azuma says, call all your friends and family members and tell them that Blakk RASTA is live here on YouTube, preaching nothing but the real truth on what's going on in Ghana right now. And Kofi Azuma says, I am sharing this live streaming right now with friends and family members. I'll be back soon. Also share the stream so many more people can pick up the vibes, right? Andrew Amenyo says, make yourself president. I'm sure he's referring to Owusu Bempah. Maybe his calling is not to be president, just like me. I will never be president. But I am a maker of presidents. A maker. Remember, I didn't say the maker. A maker. It means there could be other makers. Hallelujah. Sola Jimawena is all the way in Togo. And Sola Jimawena says, good evening, Blakk. Welcome. Wayo. AB says, Ghana will be so fake. I now know that you are 100% fake. Shame on you. Oh, Ghana Web, are you sure? What have they said that is fake? Let us know what Ghana Web has said that you think is fake. In fact, they are the news leaders online in Ghana. Yes, they make mistakes like every human being, but to say it's fake, I think it's too hard, right? To my darling says the spiritual arrogance is more. Blakk, tell him. AB says, now we think. Now, I think he's going to say, he wanted to say we thank. Okay, let me read what he wrote. Now we thank you for what we all know about Ghana. Okay, we think, okay, I'll try and make a meaning out of it. Thank you for what we all know about Nana Akufo-Addo, president of Ghana. If Ghana Web is your source, so sad. Well, I still love Ghana Web. And on this show, remember, we take from different sources, all the way from My Joy Online, depending on what makes the news. We check out the news. If it's quite credible, we bring it out. My brother, this is what is called the editorial. Run it, my youth. So, AB, don't be so angry with Ghana Web, and don't be angry with us. Just point out what you think is fake, rather than say, yeah, fake. Tell us what is making us fake, right? Alaji, Ben Shalisa Vologo. He says, good evening, Blakk RASTA, watching you live. Great Director General Alaji Ukom. I'm greeting him. Blakk RASTA, the 419 NPP government cannot stop Galamsey. May God give John Dramani Mahama and NDC power. Amen. Well, my prayer is that Mahama and his people should also be able to fight Galamsey. Because from what I'm hearing around them, I expect to hear more. That's my prayer. Yes, that's my prayer. Sweet Papito says, hey, come here. Wayo. Alaji bin Yurbusha Savulugu says, wayo. Abubakar Osman says, Blakk RASTA, have you heard Chiri Abosum, who wanted to be president, said about the Nima people? Yes, today I said it on radio. He said he's going to carry Nima people to go and beat up all Galamseyers and stop Galamsey. It's not a bad idea. especially that he's saying that he doesn't like Galamsey, he wants it to end. Maybe his method is not the best. But let's look at the mind. He's saying he doesn't like it, he wants to end it. And this is what he's going to do. For me, the method is not good, especially when you say Nima and you associate violence with Nima and all that kind of thing. It leaves a lot to be desired. Run it, my youth. Excuse me. All right. Do we have more? Amos Kwesi says, nice one. And he's Ghana all over the place. Fin Ahmed Eko say, welcome, legend. Where we speak truth to power. I'm watching you from Dubai. Blessed. Fin Ahmed Eko. And Ernest Roy Aful Mensa says, preach on. Huzaifa Sani says, yes, it's fake because of what he said about Muhammad. Okay. Zion Genesis says, say it loud. Hussein Ishaq says, Salamu alaikum, Blakk Rasta. This Owusu Bempah man is not patriotic, so we shouldn't be taken serious in this country called Ghana. More fire. Yao Odro Nti Nyama says, thumbs up. And New Force says, stop Galamsey now. Says, yeah. All right. Okay, so let's look at the next one. After this, we have one more and we are done. I promise you in the next few minutes we'll be done. All right? Keep your messages coming in. Wontumi bears teeth at Owusu Bempah. Do you know Wontumi? You know him? Recently, it was Fierce Schwarzenegger said some things about him. Hilarious things that made everybody laugh. But he himself is a comedian. When he speaks, he makes a lot of people laugh. You know? Recently, he told me that I'm a very dirty guy. I should go and bath. So I wrote a letter to him to thank him for the good advice. But I was asking him what water he suggested I used for bathing, because all the water has been polluted by his Galamsey and his ilk. Guys, he has not responded. This is Chairman Wontumi. He's the Ashanti Regional Chairman of the NPP. The Ashanti region is the stronghold, traditionally, of the NPP, because the NPP was founded there. And when I say NPP, you should understand me. The whole Buzu Dankwa Dombo thing, remove Dombo out of it. Started right there in Ashanti, in the palace of the Asante, the NLM, National Liberation Movement. Nkrumah called it the so-called National Liberation Movement. He called them liars and fools. Not my words, Kwame Nkrumah. What is Chairman Wontumi saying now? Run it by you. And this one is also published, my brother, my sister, right here. Run the story, my youth. A Pharisee like Owusu Bempah can never bring MPP down. Yeah, since when did he become a Pharisee? Recently, you guys were apologizing to him on your Wontumi radio station and TV, begging him to help you win the election. So you were begging a Pharisee. Hey, Wontumi. The Ashanti Regional Chairman of the New Patriotic Party, the NPP, Bernard Enchibu-Siakon, popularly known as Chairman Wontumi, has called the bluff of the founder and leader of the Glorious Word and Power Ministry International, Reverend Isaac Owusu Bempah, over his claims that he will bring down the NPP. Now, the man of God who is famous for prophesying victory for the NPP in major elections has become the talk of town in recent times after claiming that God has ordained former President John Dramani Mahama as the next president of Ghana. He has subsequently boasted that he is the bridge to the presidency in Ghana. I like that statement there. I am very humbled and a man of God. I say this to the glory of God. No one can sit on the presidential throne without my involvement. He said in an interview on UKFM. His comments have since annoyed the Ashanti Regional Chairman of the NPP, who insists that the man of God does not hold any keys to the NPP's destiny. Since when? You guys held him in high esteem, carried him like a king, riding a donkey. You were following him and shouting, yes, 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 yes. Now, why Barabbas, oh, Barabbas, oh, Judas, oh, Judas. When it favors you, he's a prophet. When it doesn't favor you, he's a Pharisee. Fire will burn all of you guys. You Wontumi and all those Galamseyers. Fire will burn you. Fire burn them. Wicked, dirty people. When he risked his life and put his church and his Bible at stake, you didn't call him a Pharisee. You went there to give him gifts. You carried him shoulder high. Today he's prophesying against you and he's all of a sudden a Pharisee. Fire will burn you. Your president, Nana Akufo-Addo, in his speech, acceptance speech, Owusu Bempah was the only man of God he mentioned in it. Or let me be more humble and accurate. He mentioned Owusu Bempah in that. We all remember. And when he mentioned, there was a thunderous applause. We all heard him. He read that from his house in Nima, just around the police station. All of a sudden, Owusu Bempah is a Pharisee. You are calling a curse on yourself. Not for anything, but because you are biting the hands that fed you some time ago. You see, Okonfobonia, what na yare for no? Yan yenuma. Okonfobonia, pa. What na yare for? Ama konfopa betonana. Man yenuma. Antifose. Okonfobonia, what na yare for? Ama konfopa. Habatonana. Onye no ma. Mikrofo fantifo en. Oha. You see, I dread. Then Papa also a friend Wontumi. Also, oil small scale mining. Ebum say oil Galamsey. But I don't who there. Owusu Bempah or a Pharisee. Na akra on tumka Pharisee no say Pharisee. Ne tetreman. Why they denchem ne tetreman? Well, and I why there. Why we sam tumpi day and you sam to me one. And let me fantana ba. Hallelujah. That's my one of the reasons I went to Takrade after to do my national service was because of the Fanti language. I love the Fanti language. And I love the way they were speaking it whilst I was in school. So when there was an opportunity to do national service, I said, Fante. Takrade for a while. And they raised me so high when I went on radio. I said, hey, them guy on your toy or your heart. Hey, them guy Blakk RASTA. I say, hey, or your dread beer. Hey, jai. All the others or your toy. Takrade for terms. You see, I say, oh, Blakk. And they're born Jumbe. Or last papa. And tomato. It's nice gift for you. I say, hey, them chumno. Or last papa. Oh gosh. Last story. Run it, my youth. And we'll be done for the day. All right. And the last story is equally interesting. Chinese in Galamsey shooting. Hey. Is this true? Run it, my youth. Hey. Galamsey. 2 persons shot during a clash between Chinese nationals and Sechere Krobo youth. Hey. Chinese on one side using automatic guns. And Sechere Drobo youth using bows and arrows and tiabofre. Poof! And powder. Chinese from offer a truna. Press a ina. A bet. Na Sechere Krobo youth in the tiabofre. This is sad, my brother. Run the story, my youth. Watch this. And the story is sad. 2 individuals have sustained injuries after being shot during a violent clash between the youth of Sechere Krobo and some Chinese nationals involved in illegal mining in the area. The 2 injured individuals sustained life-threatening injuries. and are currently fighting for their lives at the Ahmadiyya Hospital in Dabuase in the Wassa East District. According to a report by UTV, monitored by Ghana Web on Thursday, October 10, 2024, the destruction caused by illegal miners on the river prompted the local youth to take action and halt their activities. Did you hear that? Bring it back. Please, I need you to look at the last paragraph. According to a report by UTV, monitored by Ghana Web on Thursday, October 10, 2024, the destruction caused by illegal miners on the river, and which river is that? River Pra, prompted the local youth to take action and halt their activities. Citizen vigilante. So they went there to stop them. And what happened? The report indicates that upon reaching the site, the youth confronted the illegal miners who were using excavators and other mining equipment on the river. The miners included both Chinese and Ghanaian nationals. However, the incident escalated when the illegal miners tried to prevent the youth from stopping them to mine on the river and arresting them, thus opening fire on the child youth, injuring 2 persons. It is alleged that the Chinese illegal miners were granted permission to mine on the Bonsa River by the community chiefs who initially brought the foreigners to the area. So are these chiefs or thieves? You see what I was talking about yesterday? Some of our chiefs are not chiefs, they are thieves. Can you do this in China? Can you do this in China? You bring foreign nationals, say, oh, dig the gold, spoil our environment. Just make sure that you give us money to chop good food and marry more women and drink apetition before we die. Useless chiefs. Useless. These are the people who are making it difficult for Asante to stop Galamsey in Asante Mine. The garden city that I knew when I was schooling there in Kumasi is now Galamsey City. What's that, Bibia? It's the Black Port, aka Kokoshonamo, where we speak truth to power. Shall we look at your final comments? And we are done for the day. God's way Jata says, Black Rasta listening live in Kumasi. Come here, woyoy. Kofi Azuma says, Ghanaians are really sick and tired of Nana Akufo-Addo and Bawumia. Bawumia is a real champion of toilets in Ghana only. And you know why he's saying that? He goes to commission toilets, as Mahama said, toilet, and he calls it toilet. You know, toilet. Toilet. I'm going toilet. Kofi Azuma says, Black Rasta Bawumia has told lies all over Ghana, my brother. For me, he has told more lies than Satan told Adam and Eve. Run it, my youths. Solaji Mawena says, hey, Ghana politicians are jokers. Hi. I hear Wontumi tell ghetto guys, make the vote give Bawumia. Hey. Amoko, that's a female name, right? I like those names. Ayoko, Amoko, Adole. I am seeing campaigners for Bawumia for president. Are these people living in the same Ghana as us? Some of them are doing it for stomach reasons, stomach direction. That's why our country is where it is. We don't care about the next generation. Generations yet to come and generations gone. What they did to bring us here, they don't care. Kofi Azuma says, Black Rasta, keep telling nothing but the real truth here. Black Rasta, we respect you for telling the truth here. Yes. Kofi Azuma says, Bawumia is a real joker. CID says, Woyoy, Kwesi Opuni. Every year says, watching you live from Toronto. We say Toronto. And we say Toronto, Canada. You are talking with emotion. You better stick to your music. Dr. Bawumia has not run away from his statement. The NPP has not failed. Bawumia would win. Okay. So Kwesi Opuni. So you see that he's made his point without insulting anybody. He has made his point without saying somebody is a goat, somebody is a crocodile, or somebody, you know, he's made his point. And I respect that. So let's look at what he's saying. He says he's watching us all the way from Toronto, Canada. And he's saying that I'm talking out of emotion. And he says, I should better stick to my music. Ish. I like what he's saying. No? Most of the time, people tell me to stick to the journalism. Maybe these days, because we've released a string of hits. I say, Hoina, from Salaga Soldier, which is in there for the Grammy. And please, I want to talk to you, to talk to Grammy voters, to listen to the album. And if they see the quality involved, they should push it forward for the nomination, the final stage. He is saying that I should stick to the music. It means that he likes the music, but he doesn't like this thing that I'm saying. It encourages me, it makes me feel like, okay, all along a lot of Ghanaians have told me, oh, yeah, you know, stop the music and come and do radio and, you know, that's better. You do better there and all that. Because Ghanaians, once they know you for one thing, you can never do another thing. But this guy here called Kwesi Opuni Efriye, he's saying that stick to your music. I hear you, sir, but let's continue. Dr. Bawumia has not run away from his statement. Which statement? Which one? Bros, if you want to talk about statements, Bawumia himself, his campaign manager says, when they play back the promises he made during the campaign, he feels sad and depressed. Comrade J said, Google it. How does Bawumia feel when he listens to things and promises he made? Campaign manager. So, oh, he feels sad, very bad, and depressed. The man who came to tell us he was against e-levy. E-levy, he was so much against it. And that it was only poor people who were engaged in that kind of thing. So it was bad to tax them. A few minutes later, e-levy was slapped on us and Bawumia didn't have the bravery to walk out of the government. But he stayed in it. That's why he's taking stray bullets as well. Yes, I'm speaking emotionally for Ghana. But emotions are for Ghana. Unless you want to prove me otherwise. Kwesi Opuni Efriye. And says, Dr. Bawumia has not run away from his statement. Okay, which statement? The NPP has not failed. Oh, boss. The NPP has not failed. You are in Canada. You can walk out there and drink river water in Canada if you want. Please, find time and come and drink prayer. And tell me that the NPP has not failed. Wanton corruption. People have more money under their beds than the banks have in the bank. You tell me they have not failed. Running to the IMF and the World Bank, throwing the whole country into disarray. The dollar exchange to the cedi at 17 per dollar. And you say they have not failed. We should clap for them. Oh, Kwesi, I think you are rather speaking out of emotion. But because it's a one-way talk, you might want to talk back. Send your message. We will still read it. I hope you understand. And you say the NPP Bawumia would win. Okay. So you're also speaking out of emotion. You want Bawumia to win. Me, I don't want him to win. So we are two different people. On the day of the voting, you go blue and I will go red, gold, green with a star. Kofi Azuba says, shout out to Kimo, Wodemaya, Kofi Wayo, Kevin Taylor, and Free Mind. Big up yourself. Trini Jonas is missing him, or you don't like him. Amoko says, dash him away. Yes. Amoko. While Ibru says, Kwesi Opuni Efriye, how do you know NPP has not failed? You are in Toronto. So you don't feel the $1 to 17 Ghana cents. And next time, please, show Blakk RASTA some courtesy. He's more than a musician. Yeah. You know, because we normally don't fling the certificates we have. People think all we do is music but it's okay. You see, upon training wa ne huni tintin. And I just say na asante for muka. Sa mfancha mi se man kanu ye a me free him fie. You see, upon training wa Then that means the day the frog dies, they will see its full length. Prince Abrokwa says, we are winning the Grammy. Hallelujah. You are a prophet. Kwesi Opuni comes back, says, come to Canada. Inflation on the increase. Hey, interstate rate is high. Our problem in Ghana is we don't pay taxes. I agree with you. It's true. I've been to Canada several times. I've played concerts in Canada. In fact, maybe in November, I'll be in Canada. And when I come, I would like to meet with you. I want to believe that we have Ghana at heart. But the Dogombes have a saying, they say the king who is sitting on the horse does not feel the heat of the sun, like those walking on the ground with him. You know how it is. Those who carry the palanquin, that's in the south, they are standing on the hot sun. As the king is inside doing this. In the north, they sit on the horse. And those around him are walking with him. They feel the heat. You are in Toronto. How many Ghanaians call you and ask you to send them money? You know it. Yes, interstate rate is high. Inflation is high. But you have good drinking water. We don't have. It's true, Ghanaians don't like to pay taxes. It's good to... I've said it several times. We must pay tax. I've said it on this show. Somebody pull it out and let Kwesi have a look at it. Several times. We must pay tax. I am ready to pay taxes. But not stupid taxes. Excuse my language. E-levy. The reason for e-levy was, once we accepted it, they will not go to the IMF and the World Bank borrowing. Right? You were in Ghana, you knew. Or even if you were in Canada. That was what they told us. 3 weeks after passing e-levy, they went to the IMF begging for money. Kennedy Japan, who was on the doctor's table, his brain had been opened into two. He left it. They closed his head again for him to come and vote for e-levy. Only for e-levy to be useless. Now, Baumia says he will cancel e-levy when he counts. If Kennedy Japan had died, would you say that they've succeeded? Let's be careful, Kwesi. Kofi Azuma says, Blakk RASTA, will you also come to Pennsylvania? I hear Pennsylvania, Penn State is not far away from where I'll be coming. So hopefully I should be able to come there. The liar Trump was here yesterday. Let's link up when I'm in the United States. Kwesi Opunifri says, well, I'm sure you don't know your ABCs of economics. Teach us the ABCs of the economics so that we can learn from you. Rob Wood said, how can the whole Gold Coast not back their city with gold? When Baumia talked about gold for oil, I was one of the first people, if not the first, to clap that it was a good thing. And look how they messed it up. Everybody in Ghana knows that Blakk RASTA is not one way. Today, I might be here. Tomorrow, I might seem to be here. But my direction is focused on Ghana. Depending on who is aligned with Ghana, you will be in my favor. If you are out of alignment with Ghana, that is when you will not be. All Ghanaians know this. Every Ghanaian. Rob Wood says, how can the whole... Well, we took that. No gold reserves. What Bank of Ghana has done with the gold coins ain't enough. They are just copying Nam1, stealing Nam1's ideas, and they are not giving him any credit. Kwesi Opunifri says, Blakk, what are you going to do in the USA? Well, I'm just going for a visit, like I do most of the time, and also to be able to promote the works of the music. At the same time, I might be able to do some speaking in some universities, talk about Africa, talk about having people to come into my country and invest and all that. Basically, that's what I'll be doing. But I'll also be in Canada and Toronto, to be very specific. If you're available, we can still meet and have a chat. Abubakar Osmanu says, Blakk, thanks for reading my message. My greetings to the people of Alaju. Love and respect. We love you. More messages. Kofi Azuma says, keep sharing this live stream on all your social media platforms. Kwesi Opunifri says, Mr. Blakk, Dr. Nkrumah ruled less than 5 million people. That's correct. Nana has 33 million people. That's correct. And educating over 5 million SHS for free. That's correct. The moon would always shine despite the backing. Okay. So we are happy. But my brother, the free SHS is mediocre. It's reduced the platform of our education. You know, Ghana used to be number one. The whole of West Africa. It moved from Sierra Leone, went all the way to Zimbabwe, came to Ghana and all that. Now, according to statistics, we are so low. What we are producing is majority, not quality, quantity. Do you agree with me? Or you don't care? Some people say, oh, we don't really care. They should just go to school and come out, even if they are half-baked. No. A thing we're doing is we're doing well. It's a good attempt. We are looking forward to improving it, but they politicized it. To win the election, they never looked there to even improve it. That's the problem. And then you said Nkrumah ruled over Ghana at the time the people were what? 5 million. And Nana is ruling over many more people. Nkrumah ruled over Ghana at the time that we hadn't even discovered oil. Nkrumah ruled over Ghana at the time when our gold mines were not producing as much gold as this. Shall we go deeper? Nkrumah removed money from his pocket and built at least one school from his personal pocket long before he even became president. So when we make those comparisons, let's put them in context. The population is huge, yes. But so is the natural resources, are the natural resources. See? It's just lack of management and proper understanding of the dynamics. To my darling, Blakk Rasta, in your opinion, what changes would you like to be made in our constitution, in our Ghana constitution, so the president can take us, cannot take us for granted? I'm sure that's what you said. You see, many people have asked me, Blakk Rasta, if you ever become president, which you said you'll never be, what would you do? I'll do nothing. All I would do is to make sure patriotism stands. Our biggest problem in Ghana is patriotism. A lot of our people are running to Canada, America, England. I don't have a problem if you want to go and work, bring home your money. You want to go and do some work there, bring home money. To develop your nation is not a problem. But they go there, they naturalize. They throw away their Ghanaian citizenship. They live there. They only want to return home when they are dead. They should go and bury them at Tafu Cemetery. Ghana is not a graveyard. Double citizenship is a curse. As a Pan-Africanist, many have disagreed with me. It's an intellectual argument. We can go into it. See? And I've said this. It doesn't matter which political party supports it. That is what I stand for. Now you are asking me, what would I do about the constitution? I'll take the powers of the president and make it like the American Constitution, where the people rule, not necessarily the president. I think it summarizes it. Our presidents have too much power. Colonial laws are still here. And we are worshiping those laws. We need to deal with them. All right. So while Ibru says, Kwesi opuni free and you do, I know Ghana owes a lot of debt and it's so unprecedented that Ghana has been shut out of the bond market. Before I could get 3 Ghana cedis with $1, but now I get 17 Ghana cedis for $1. So you see, Kwesi opuni, this is the simple mathematics the average Ghanaian is looking at. The market woman, even tomato seller will tell you $1. All the economics they know, we know, is the dollar rate to the cedi. Because everything in Ghana is controlled by the dollar. The whole economy has been dollarized to the point that even our budget is read in dollars. What a shame. While Ibru comes back to say, Kwesi, I bet you think that's a good thing. And the nice debate, look at how they are debating. No insults. No, like you see on other platforms. It's beautiful. Kwesi Opuniye Free says, well, do you know the debts of the USA? It is in trillions. Of course, the USA is a huge country. Ghana also has debt in trillions of Ghana cedis. The first time we had trillions was in debt in Ghana. But America has the power to pay. But we are sitting here, borrowing and borrowing. We don't know where our next meal is even coming from. That is the danger. Kofi Azuma says, Blakk Rasta, where is that joker known as Daddy Fred? I don't think I know him. Who is he? Is he a musician or a boxer? Okay, please let me know who Daddy Fred is. While Hebrew says, Kwesi, USA has the access for it. That's Ghana. Okay, well, so that was the same thing I was saying. And have you seen USA touring around the world begging for their debts to be written? Oh, beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. And Kwesi Opuni Free says, well, Accra is not all Ghana. Kofi Azuma says, no, my Kwesi is just pulling your legs. I want to use that word. While Hebrew says, Kwesi, who is talking about Accra? I'm saying Ghana is in unprecedented debt. You are saying Accra. While Hebrew says, Kwesi, by the way, are we seriously comparing Ghana to the United States? And Prince Abrakwa says, congratulations on your Grammy nomination. We are now going for the real nomination. This one is the short listing. So we are 75 in that category. Reggae Album of the Year. And Blakk Rasta is the only African. Can you believe it? Can you believe it? Should we not make Africa proud? Do you know anybody who's a Grammy voter? Call them right now. Send them emails, messages, and tell them, hey, do you know that there's only one African album in there? And it is the album that has 20 tracks. Authentic roots rockers, live music. When we win it, we glorify Alpha Blondy, Lucky Dube, Bob Marley, and even Felix Bell, Shasha Mali, Rocky Dawuni, and all who stand for authentic reggae music. So let's push it. Kwesi Open Free says, yes, Blakk, I love your music. Thank you so much. Please, let's meet in Canada. Let's meet in Toronto. Yes, I'll be there in the first week of November. Grace Saki says, hi. And Kwesi Opune Free says, Mr. Blakk, I returned from Ghana after 6 months stay. I stayed all the time in my village. Wow. Okay. So, are you presently in Canada or you are in your village? All right. All right. So, Kofi Azuma says, Blakk Rasta, so you haven't been to Philadelphia yet? No, I haven't. Pennsylvania, I've not been there. The Penn State, not yet. Nobab says, even America with almost 400 million population doesn't make these excuses. Kwesi Opune Free said, Mr. Blakk, but Nkrumah was left with millions of pounds at the time. I have researched this thing deeply. If I need to talk about it now, we will not end. Millions of what pounds? Is very, very debatable. The money that was left for Nkrumah was for a certain purpose that Nkrumah fought for. But I will go into the intricacies so that we will understand it. Maybe we should do it in the African history class one of these days. Hey, is so disputed. Nobab says some of you are just tribalistic and you are hiding behind politics. Nobab says USA can actually pay their debts. You can't. While Hebrew says, Kwesi, Nana Addo was left with bauxites, oil, etc. That's true. And 3 oil wells Mahama left. Interesting debate. I think this is one of the most interesting black pots we have had. TCJJ says, here, teachers retire after work just to die because what to feed family becomes a problem. Warrior, agree with you. Lord Zinia says, more fire. Nobody can hurt you, Blakk Rasta. We always remember you in our prayers. Be strong and live forever. Jack Guide, blessed love, Lord Zima. Simon N. Jiri says, Blackpot, warrior. Simon N. Jiri comes back to laugh. And Abubakar Sadiq Isaka says, I support you every second. about the leaving the country comment, Blakk Rasta. Yeah, I'll leave. If I come in, it means I'm coming to do something quickly and go out. If I can't, I won't come at all. If you have to come out and come and do some emergency something and return. Yes, but I would only return after the government is out. Let alone they will not even win. Ishmael Atto says, watching you live from Qatar. And Kweku Endo says, greetings from Chicago. Blakk, hope you make it to Chicago on your next trip to the United States. God bless. And Kweku Mville, oh, brother Kweku is a very wonderful person who follows the African history class regularly. And we have been speaking for some time now. You know, he's a wonderful brother, supportive of the works that we do here. And he's a strong patriot. Oh, my God. Brother Kweku, thank you so much. We'll try and make it to Chicago if we can. Yeah. Tom Poe says, but this time, despite most of us know that the NPP and the NPP, NDC and the NPP are the same people, even a baby born also knows that JM will win. The pastor is so smart. NDC and NPP, none of them can stop Galamsey because they are the people doing Galamsey. To sponsor their political parties, we need military leader. So that's another person's view. He's fed up with democracy. He wants a military ruler like what is happening in Burkina Faso, Niger, and those places. Right? Is that all we have for the day? We have more. It's Isi Zulu says, did Nkrumah implement a Japadia document? Alexander Kwesi says, you come to Canada and socialize in the system and refuse to talk truth to Ghana problems. Eric Kuma Sogabado, watching you live from Qatar, says, if Ghana has 100 people thinking like you, Ghana will be a good nation. Well, please join. Let's all join to make Ghana a better place. Isa Yidambla Yakubu says, Dobia, you are original. Mawuli Witi says, I am watching you live from Israel. Keep the fire burning. Blessed love. Blessed love. All right. Is that all we have for the day? Or we have more? And it's an interesting thing. We want to say that today has been a day that I have truly enjoyed the Blakk Pot. So much information and so much interaction. Let's keep it this very peaceful and very intellectual. Leave out those who want to do some other things. We want to be quite intellectual and focus on the nation. Yeah? Yeah. It is what it is. We have more comments coming in. All right. And remember to take our numbers off the screen and do business with us. Your business will help us grow bigger and better. In the interim, it's the Blakk Pot. Are we done? No more messages. One more message, I'm told. We're trying to fix it. This is the Black Empire Media. And of course, our number is on the screen. Make sure you pick up the number and do business with us. Yes. Kofi Azuma says that Fred is a strong follower of Nana Addo and the Bawumia NPP government. He lives in Massachusetts. All right. So I'll try to follow him and find out what he says. Kofi Azuma says Blakk Rasta Daddy Fred is all over social media. Hey. Nobab says when Ghanaians start being honest, we will move forward. That's true. Kofi Azuma says Blakk Rasta Penn State is a university in Pennsylvania. Yeah, I mean Penn State. Yes, I know, but Pennsylvania, the short is also Penn State. Penn State as a state, you know. Pennsylvania State. So Penn State, you know. Yeah. I know there's a university called Penn State University, but Pennsylvania is also called a Penn State. Yeah. Kwesi Opuni every year says, no bap. He is talking of tribes. My grandmother is a Dagomba. Oh, wow. Interesting. Nice. That's nice to know and nice to hear. All right. As for me, my great-grandfather was a Zulu warrior. Emmanuel Agboglan. That's a beautiful name. Agboglan. Agboglan. Say you make the clan come out properly. Agboglan. Good evening, family. Thank you so much. We appreciate you and we love you. It's been the Blakk Pot, aka Kukusho no more. MCR says more messages are coming in. Unfortunately, we have to go. For that matter, I must apologize for the long stretch of the show. We thank you and I appreciate you. Continue to share the live stream. And even after that, you can still make your comments. It's been the Blakk Pot, aka Kuku Show. And thanks so much for watching. Ghana shall prosper. We love you. Hey! Hey! Yeah!